Hi everybody, hope you're enjoying your first day of class. Mr. Schmidt here. I'm lying on my couch, so I might look a little strange. I might look a little strange anyways, but more so than usual. Uh, just an update on the baby situation. The baby is born. She is in this world. I am more tired as a result, but quite happy that she is healthy and sleeping right now. So, there will be no complications and I will not be offline for extended periods of time. So let's get right to this. This is called our English 3U FAQ. Frequently asked questions based on the emails I get from you. A reminder that no question is a bad question because your marks are determined in some part by the quality of the questions you ask. Okay, so I know some people are still struggling to navigate the course. Tip number one, explore the content like a video game. Okay, so I'm gonna just go to your view. Okay, this is what you would see. This is me as a student, as you can see over here. So you got course home, content, discussions, Dropbox, quizzes, class list, grades, resources. Okay, for the most part, there are no quizzes. You don't have to worry about this tab ever. Okay, the class list just shows you who else is online, and that's not that helpful. The two main, well, besides content, the two main areas that concern you in terms of evaluations are the drop boxes. So if you go and click on Dropbox, let's just give it a couple seconds here, hope that it actually clicks over to it. There it is. Okay, so just from a brief survey of the scene here, you can see, okay, I've got due dates. So this is pretty much this week. 1, 2, 3. One activity per day. Okay. And then throughout the course, if you look at the whole thing, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And this last part is called a culminating task, which means you do not have an exam. You have to hand this in as your 30%. Is that all you'll be evaluated on? Well, not quite, because there's also a discussions area, which we will now go to. We did the icebreaker today. I've answered most of your posts. I still have a couple to get to. Unit 1, there are 2 activities that require discussion posts. Remember, discussions are areas where instead of submitting a document, usually you can post directly on it and you will be asked to respond to other people on their threads. So 2 for Unit 1. Remember, Unit 2 is not being evaluated. Unit 3, there's only 1. Unit 4, there's only 1. And Unit 5, there's something called feedback, which probably looks like taking a look at other people's works and commenting on it. So that's the first thing to realize. There is a finite number of assignments, and you can figure it out by looking at the discussions in the Dropbox. The other thing to remember is that if we go back to the course home, there are 2 tools that also should help you figure out what is due. The one is the calendar. So, the calendar. You've got upcoming events. July 5th is up because July 4th has passed. July 6th shows you what's due. July 9th. Okay, and when it says due, it's because it needs to be done. These may become unlocked, but again, this is why it's helpful to have a bunch of tools to look at. Because if you're wondering what locked means in this case, well, how are you going to figure out whether you have to do it? Well, the one way is to go back and look at discussions and Dropboxes. If these activities that say locked here are not part of that, then you probably don't have to do it. The other thing that you can do, sorry, I'm trying to get back to the original navigation, is go to our announcements. Okay, and in the announcements was posted the course evaluation breakdown. Okay, so you've got here Unit 1, and you've got your typical knowledge, thinking, communication, application breakdown, and you've got all the marks and the weight of each assignment, okay, which you should really take a look at as well, because if you're running out of time, you need to figure out which assignments are the most crucial to your mark, and that would be the weightings with 3s, right? So you've got here two discussions, activity 3 and activity 4, and then you've got today's activity, which we were supposed to submit for class feedback, meaning I will comment on it but not give you an official mark. And then starting tomorrow, you will have your first generating ideas raft assignment. And you can see the mark breakdown there, and it goes on like this. So in each case, right, it tells you what to do. Unit 2, online identities, we will not be exploring this unit, so that's consistent with what you saw in the Dropbox before. Unit 3, it goes through the discussion questions again that you have to do, and the drop boxes, right? So use all these tools to check against one another if you're wondering what's due and what's not. The bottom line is if there's no Dropbox for it and there's no discussion for it, you probably don't have to do it. But if you need to clarify, you can still email me. I'm just saying, you can really do the detective work on your own. You really have to think about this as a video game that you want to crack. Don't be scared to navigate and to move around a little bit. Okay? We talked about that. Use rubrics and checklists when provided. Okay, so we haven't really gone into the content yet. So some people were asking me today, like, what books do we have to read, and questions like that. Well, you need to explore the content to figure that out, okay? You can do it by hitting course navigation, but really just, if you want to do it simply, just go to each unit. We already talked about Unit 2 not being evaluated, so let's just start with Unit 1. Many of you have already submitted that. It's pretty straightforward. It gives you an overview if you click on it, and then you can go straight into the activities. You know, I don't know, I don't find this very difficult, and I have never seen this version of D2L. I am more used to the old one. My computer may take forever, and I may have to stop doing this out of sheer frustration. No, not bad. Right, so whenever you go here, it gives you an overview of the 4 activities, so you know that this is all that they entail. And then every time you click on one of the activities, there will be a couple of pop-ups. Pop-up number 1, Introduction. In this activity, you will learn about. It tells you exactly what you will learn about. Pop-up number 2, Learning skills and work habits that you are working on. Okay, all the government documentation of what this is trying to teach you. And of course, the third, the learning goals and success criteria. And of course, success criteria, much like rubrics, should be respected and followed. Right? You can even see the curriculum expectations if you need to. Okay. So for the first assignment, basically you had a bunch of questions, and then this was your assignment for tomorrow. So you were supposed to read Sojourners. These were the questions that you're supposed to submit, and then this is the activity for tomorrow. Remember, there's a long description here, so if you're wondering what it should look like, use that. Okay, the other way to navigate is to go over here and to make sure that you hit everything. So you just look at Minds On, Action scrolls you down, Consolidation, is that final piece, and then it says here to submit your work if you want to do that. Let's go back. Let's go back even farther. So online identity we're not going to use. Let's look at Unit 3. I know this is a little slow. I apologize. For some people who are struggling, it might be helpful just to see this. Unit overview again. Hopefully you all have amazing computers, not MacBooks from 2008. The first rule about book club. Interesting. Okay, so this is probably about novels or some sort of books. Oh no. I just lost connection. That's awful. Let's try this again. Please don't lose connection again. That'd be so sad. Okay, good. Great. Tells me exactly what I'm going to do. Again, learning skills and work habits, success criteria. Great. Now I can finally look at this. What is a book club? How to preview a text. Here are your text choices for this unit. Amazing! Now I know what I'm going to read. I have some options. Ooh, the Kite Runner. I might have done the Kite Runner in grade 10. Maybe I should do that one. No, I shouldn't do that one because I should challenge myself and read something different that I'm going to enjoy. Maybe A Thousand Splendid Suns. It was written by the same author. Sorry. I'm just kind of going through how you could be thinking about this. Okay, so the more you read and the more you take your time with this stuff, the more you will understand. Okay, so the kinds of questions, listen, I will answer any question that you send to me, but often I will refer you back to the material if you're not taking the time to go through it, because it literally is all here. How do I know which assignments to do? We just talked about that. Am I penalized for late assignments? Basically what happens is if you go to a Dropbox, it gives you a due date, right? So let's get back out of here and we'll look at the due dates based on the Dropboxes. So this says the due date. I will usually not have, though the due date is posted here, it will not be strict. I will not close the Dropbox for another 24 hours. Okay, so you will have a chance to extend yourself at least 24 hours. As we get closer to the end and the work piles up, that will increase to 48 hours. And I will also leave announcements that clarify when things are due. Okay, so if you're the kind of person who works till 4 and it says 4 o'clock on July 4th, that's fine. Don't worry about it. Just stay on target. These are target dates, and it's, online learning is hard. It moves quick, and these are to your benefit if you stay disciplined with them. So you won't be penalized, but at a certain point they just will not be accepted. And before I run out of time, this has gone on way too long. I'm sorry for the 15-minute clip. Usually I will try to keep these to under 5 minutes, and they will be extremely concise, or kind of concise. Pro tip: watch my videos. Okay, you might not have liked this video, it might have been a little dull, and the production value certainly is awful. However, it also clarifies what I'm thinking, and as a course where we spend 0 time together and we have very little face-to-face, this is better than nothing. So use it to your advantage. I hope everyone's doing okay. Good luck the rest of the way, and please send me those questions via email. Good night.